I'm Mark Saxton.
I'm Joey Cundiff.
And our guest,
Nate Voyer, ACL Pro out of Stockton, California, baby.
Ooh,
Let's
Stockton. Let's
go.
go.
All right. And it's been a special episode, special week, but it's always good. And it's always time to talk some shit.
It happens.
So, real quick question.
For sure.
Since you're from Stockton, appreciate the drink with us. Are you the Nate Diaz of the cornhole game? Don't take shit from no one gives shit to you. And if they do, they're sorry, son of a bitch.
There's a lot of people. I feel like you're either on one spectrum or the other. You're on the far end of you love me, or you're on the far end of you hate me. So
that's
you
exactly
get what you get.
That's exactly how a lot of people feel about us.
You know what's funny is that is a Stockton thing. That's it.
It's California that breeds
Hey.
athletes.
So I'm from San Diego County originally. I'm from Escondido.
Oh, yeah.
So trust me, when I came out to Arizona, it was a lot of same mentality for towards me.
It's an 8-year-old. So
I was not 8, way older, but all right.
So Nate, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody what you're about, all your accomplishments, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, it's kind of wild. I mean, to be honest, I graduated from high school, went to college, and then, I find myself in education. I'm an 8th grade teacher. I was a principal for 8 years as well. I actually went back to the classroom 2 years ago, from being a principal to a teacher so that I could, because I made pro and I started making sponsors that way. And it's just been wild, to be honest. I mean, I'm 43 years old and this is great. I mean, playing a backyard game that people just play and enjoy, whether you're, a teenager, young teen to, I got a video on my TikTok of my grandma. She's 92 and she's throwing bags with a cane. You know what I mean? Like that's what's cool about cornhole. It doesn't matter if you're blue collar or white collar, what's your age, level, pay grade bracket. It doesn't matter. That's what it's like. It's equal, man. It's just everyone's just throwing bags and having some beers, and then it goes from backyard to ESPN. I mean, that's what's crazy. So,
hell yeah.
I mean, that's wild. I mean, tell me you're playing a backyard game when you're a teenager, and then you find yourself on ESPN.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what we're about. Like I said, small town kids coming from over here, you know what I mean? And really all we get to see is bags in the backyard during a barbecue or at a tailgate.
That's right. I think the only way Mark and I get on ESPN or something like that is come on, man.
Yeah.
Trying to do something heroic and I think that's the only way we get on.
When they say airmail it for us, we're definitely sending it over the board.
Yeah. It's a whole different kind of airmail.
Hey, but you know what? You got to take your shots. The more shots you take, you might miss some, but you shoot more, you're gonna make more. That's what it's about,
There it is.
Better.
Wayne Gretzky said something like that too. I think you and him have something in common.
There it is. Equivalency.
There it is.
Hey, so you touched on it a little bit. You're a teacher. How long have you been a teacher? And a little side question here. What's your favorite job?
My favorite job?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Teacher, cornhole.
Oh, man.
Or principal.
Oh man.
I had some
principals. I've been in education for 18 years. I actually worked at a county jail. I was pursuing a job as a police officer, and while I was going through the police academy, I started substitute teaching, and honestly, I really fell in love with the kids, and I've always had a heart for kids, and I'm a kind of wearing my heart on my sleeve kind of guy. Like, you'll know when I'm upset, but you'll know when I'm hitting that backside airmail, and everyone in the room knows I hit it too. You know what I mean? Like there's no I think that's the same reason why I get the love or the hate on both ends of the spectrum, because that's how I am. But I was a teacher sixth grade teacher for a while, and then I was actually an instructor for curriculum for teachers for other teachers, and then I got into admin really young, and I was a principal for 8 years, and that was brutal, man. I mean, you
Mm,
know, Forbes magazine said Stockton was the top 10 worst cities to live in,
oof.
behind Baltimore and Detroit. And I got a lot of love I mean, for real, yeah, I see you. And it's like, Stockton's rough. But so as an administrator, it was really tough. I loved it, but I didn't realize how high my stress level was. And so when I made pro, like doing a lot of stuff outside of work, I found it's just really just fun. And I played it my first time at a bar playing cornhole. I won, and it just spiraled into something just so huge. And I realized I stepped my work where I was at work down a notch, and I'm back into the passion of teaching. And I'm kind of infusing that. If you look at my TikToks and some of the things I post, one of my TikToks went viral, and of my class shooting bags in my classroom.
Oh, nice.
And I just try to show my kids that you can still have dreams and goals, no matter how small or big they are, and you can just go for them. Like,
Nice.
who's to say you can't? You know what I mean?
That's amazing. I
So
love to
so I
hear
got a
that.
quick bet. Are you down for just a quick bet?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh, you
guess
don't
what
you
you.
don't want to. Oh, before we talk about bets, I mean, I won a ton for my 49ers, and then I
Oh
lost
no!
some.
No!
Yeah, I knew you
You're
guys would
you're our
love it.
kryptonite. You're our
I know you guys
kryptonite.
would love it. I had to bring it up. I'm sorry, fellas.
Ah!
Sorry,
Cowboys and
fellas.
Packers, and then that's both how I read that.
I'm sorry. I saw you. I already knew. I already knew. I had to bring it up.
Ah, damn.
So I mean, I won a lot of money placing
Well,
some
nobody's
bets, and then
perfect.
I lost a little bit against. We had some QB issues against the Eagles, which is some bull crap. I wish we would have had an actual game to make out of it with the QB situation. Otherwise, it'd have been a good game, I think. But you know, all right. So yeah, I mean, I'm down for a bet. You
All
can
right.
bet
I got a
anything.
quick
Let's
bet.
go.
Got a quick bet. I'm gonna guess what subject you teach, and I have no. I did not stalk you for this. Okay, this is just a guess. Okay.
I bet you. I can bet you whatever you want. You won't guess it.
All right. It's just a nice big gulp. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll start off with something simple.
All right.
All right.
I was
So
just trying to
since
see if
you
I had a
said
gulp
that,
left.
since you said that, history's out the window. Then.
History's
Yeah,
out the
okay,
window.
okay. All right. I'm gonna go 8th grade. Oh my goodness! Now you got me all. Are you a science teacher?
All right. So what's really funny is you said history's out the window. History was my major in college,
Oh,
Oh,
but
what do you teach?
you could always be wrong or right. I actually teach a self-contained class, so I teach all subjects. I teach algebra, science, social studies, reading,
we
So,
everything.
definitely
Yeah,
so
we.
that was a bad bet on your part. So I win.
yeah, yeah. So you
I'll
win. I
take a
mean,
drink
Hey,
too.
well, hold
all
on.
right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, we were Puppy in the Lion's Den on that one.
Yeah.
I had to humor you. I knew what was going on there.
So real quick, I just want to touch on it. So I'm
Yeah.
I was a police officer myself. I worked in the
Oh
prison,
yeah.
worked out in the prison out in Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Where you worked in the county jail. What police department were you pursuing?
Well, it's actually interesting. I was 21, maybe right 22, right out of college, and I started working at the county jail. I was actually a teacher. I taught recreation program. I refereed, I organized games like basketball tournaments with the inmates. Ref that as a 22-year-old, which was pretty wild actually.
Yeah,
And I mean handball tournaments, chess tournaments, checkers, dominoes, things like that. And I really like the teaching. I've always liked the teaching, and as far as the kids aspect too, going while I was substitute teaching, I could see where I was really where I should go. You know what I mean? Like in
right.
my heart, where I should be. But actually, Antioch Police Department, just near Oakland, was where I was. at
I
a
hear
chief's
you.
decision working with the chief, and then I decided, I'm like, you know what, I just decided to go elsewhere and never looked back, and it was the best decision for me. Long term, looking back, hindsight,
Absolutely.
it was the right thing, and I mean, I just love my job and I love what I'm doing. And I mean, you can't go when you're in a when you know you're in the right spot where you're working. I mean, whatever trade or like wherever you're at, if you're enjoying your day, I mean, it's still work, but if you're enjoying your day and the people you're around, you go home and you're proud of what you're building, and then that's where you should be.
Exactly. No, I love
Amen.
it. I love it. I've got a few buddies that I went through the academy with, and
Cool.
they're no longer police officers, and they love what they're doing, and it's crazy that, same with you. You went through the academy, and you found what you loved outside of law enforcement, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. When
You know,
I worked almost 4 years in the prison up here, and same thing. I enjoyed the so many different people, and training and
yeah,
everything like that, and teaching that you could do with a lot of the inmates who, I mean, a lot of people forget they're people. They're just
yeah.
people.
That's exact, and that's a good way to put it because whatever work, wherever you're doing for work or whatever you're doing for fun or hobbies, like I think people lose a lot of like they don't give respect like the way they should. Like people are all trying to just live their life and do better than what their family did for them when they grew up. You know what I mean? Like as long as you're working hard at something and you're doing it, that's my vibe. Like that's what it's at. That's real.
Here, I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
I'll drink to
Drink. Let's
that.
go.
I mean, if you're hitting the grind to pay for bills and have your kids be in a better spot, then you're doing it right.
There it
Amen.
is. So now I'm gonna move it on. It's just as passionate, don't get me wrong, but probably less as like sentimental, I guess I should say.
I like it.
Yeah.
What is
Hey,
your yeah.
I mean, we went this way. That's good. We're good with whatever, man.
Let's
Like,
go. So I'm
you
very
want to
passionate.
cross borders right now? Like, give me
Let's
something.
do it. Let's
Let's
do
go.
it. So I'm very passionate about this. I have a favorite alcohol in pretty
Uh-oh.
much every alcohol. What is the go-to bevy either before, during, or after when you're playing cornhole? What is like
Well,
the one?
well, there's a difference of drinking while you're trying to play and drinking when you're hanging out with actually my pro partner's actually, I'm 43, my pro partner's only 26. And, you know, he's actually out of Florida, and we're actually the furthest doubles partners across the furthest distance. And I'll tell you what, when we go out and it's not about playing, I mean, I'll take some Jameson on ginger ale
There
or
you
some
go.
picklebacks or,
Oh, the
That's
picklebacks.
what I had on Saturday night.
I mean, if you want to do that, I mean, we can have some fun, but if I'm playing, I keep it real light. I like to sip long term because some tournaments can be 6 hours. So I can't be doing those. I can't be doing Jameson. Just
Right, right. You got to cross the
but
finish
Right, right.
line.
yeah. So I typically I love Modelo.
Let's
Let's go.
go.
So
There it
it's
is.
Modelo time, fool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
so.
loved it.
I typically do that and just kind of it's and I've got really bad ADHD, so having something to grab and do while you're not throwing or the bags like in doubles, the bags on the other end of the board, something to do, grab and sip and because I feel like I got to be moving all the time and going and so sometimes just having something to sip on,
There it
that,
is.
I like it.
I like it. That was
that's
probably
real.
the best answer you could have given.
Right, right. Yeah.
I was
I'm already a bigger
yeah,
fan.
I was to kind of criticize you, throw little jabs in there at you. Like, let's fucking go.
All right, man.
So,
I
so
mean,
can you tell us about your partner? 26 years old from Florida. Now, I used to work construction on the road. I had a few
okay.
Florida boys out there that I love dearly,
They're
but
different out
I'll tell
there.
you right now, them boys roll different.
Yeah, it's what's really wild is um at the first week of August we have Worlds in South Carolina, right? It's and I met him for 15 minutes and slapped hands with him and said, "What's up?" And like a mutual, our sponsor, our sponsor, Cornhole Scenario, that supplies our bags and stuff. Like, she's like, you gotta play with Kevin. And I said, I, I'm down. Like, we just barely met, and I'm telling you, the first tournament we went to, we played in Vegas, Las Vegas, and as first game as a pro doubles team, we beat a team that finished top 5 last season. We beat them our very first game, and we had never played a
Damn.
tournament together. And I'll tell you what, the night we actually stayed in the hotel together, and the night before I said, I want the best team. I want to play them the first match. I want to play the best team. And he was like, say less, let's go. I'm like, no joke. We get a text message that says board, whatever, and we play them, and we mopped them up. Now, we mopped them up in round robin, but they sent it back to us in the tournament bracket. But the point is that we barely knew each other, and we've had chemistry and just been. I think we have it goes back and forth. Do we have more fun on the boards or off the boards? And I think you need that because I fully trust him. Like on people don't realize that cornhole's got a lot of strategy. Bags have different bag speeds, and there's different game styles, and you can play really aggressive or defensive, and that's something that the average cornhole player probably doesn't realize. Like some tailgater, you just throw it, like
Right.
just lob
Throw
it
it
up
in the
there.
hole.
Yeah.
But
Right.
like he's just like dude, he pumps me up. He's like, dude, you know what to do, like full confidence. Like and when you're playing in any sport and your partner or your team has full confidence in you, it builds you up, right? So I feel like Kevin, he's out of Fort Myers, Florida. That's where that hurricane was not
Right.
too
Wow.
long,
Yeah.
too long ago. And his business that he had was all safe and his family was safe, which was a blessing. But dude, that guy, if we don't partner up anymore, I'm hanging out with this guy. Like he's just a
Nice.
cool guy.
Like it.
Like it's awesome, and it's hard to find a partnership in cornhole that's like you mesh well, like playing styles and the bag and the same type of bag, and then also be comfortable with them in their personality. And so you see a lot of pro partners either have issues with little other things. I'm like, dude, that's not
How much
us.
do you hang out with them? Do you call him a lot, like hit him up and stuff like that?
Yeah, actually, he's going to ACL Open, which is a way that a lot of people can earn points to start becoming pro. But as pros, we use those as events to just play other pros and have competition or
Right.
whatnot. But it's actually in Winter Haven, Florida, not too far where he is. And him and 4 other buddies that I know are going there right now. I texted him like right before I got on this, and I'm like, "Let's go, man! You know,
Hey, we
do
gotta get you
something
both on
about
the
it,
show one day. We
Yeah.
gotta get you
dude."
both on
He's
the show.
hey, he. I don't know. You guys probably won't get to say one word if he and I get on here
That's
because
what we
That's
love.
what we
That's what we
love.
love. That's cool. I've never heard of such a in-depth partnership. And it makes it like we see the fire in your eyes. It makes me I'm fired up now.
Right,
I'm ready
right,
to go
yeah,
right.
to the backyard.
yeah.
I love
Well,
it.
and we
Let's
know
go
a
set up
little
the
bit
boards
about
right now.
cornhole. Let's go. I'll take you on. See you, and then I'll let you go. But one thing that I really, really like about you, and you see it in a lot of people that they tend to exceed more in what they do, is they're not afraid to take on the number one team, even though you know in the back of your head, like, hey, I might not match up well, but if I do, I'm going to like this is where I'm going to be. And
They're gonna feel me.
yeah, a lot of people like to stray and like, hey, I want to face somebody that I think I can beat, so that way I can grow,
It's
whatever.
that chip. It's that chip on the
Right.
shoulder that I love. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
that's it.
going
If
after the
you're from
top. That's the
Stockton,
way
you
to
got
be.
that chip automatically. I'm telling you, like I love playing like that. I love hearing that somebody was talking some crap,
Ooh,
like in a group chat or somebody messaged somebody or I see some comment. I'm like, Come on, man.
That brings me to my next question. Now, you don't have to answer this. I don't want you to feel it's a setup, but do you have any beef on the circuit? And do you have anybody that's got your number on the circuit?
And be honest, did you Stockton slap somebody?
Yeah, and if you had a little, hey, so my favorite term, especially when I was in construction and in law enforcement, my favorite term, I was out there, I was like, hey man, I had to let a motherfucker know something. Did you have to let a motherfucker know something or what?
No, the only thing I gotta say is all you people that like to follow me and all you people that like to follow me on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, and I see you. I see you watching my reels, and but you never like it. And I already know. I
There it
already know what that
is.
means.
There it is. Throwing the shade. I love it.
I know what that
Tyler's
means.
got your back.
Hey, blue collar is right here with you.
I'm not about that. You want to talk some crap on the boards? Say it.
Let's
Like,
go.
don't go to your local leagues, talk mess, and then I find out about it. Say it. Come say it at the boards, like whatever, man.
So what other sports
I'm
did you
not about
play?
that. I'm not about that.
What other sports did you play? Because with that attitude, you like you had to play hockey. You had to
Nah,
be UFC
no,
or something.
no, in California,
No, he would have got too many texts for basketball. He didn't play basketball.
I did play basketball.
I knew it. How many texts did you get?
No, check this out.
You
Check
got
this
teed
out.
up. I know you did.
No, so that's funny. All right, so no, I played basketball and I played baseball, and I got hit in the face with a fastball when I was about let's say 14. Right here, I got about 13 stitches in my eyebrow.
Oof.
Yeah, and then that was done with baseball. It's hard to stand in the box when you get hit popped in the face like that as a kid. But I
Right.
played basketball. I actually played volleyball too. But in California, we don't have hockey. We played a lot of street hockey, and I loved it. But we don't have any ice out here, man.
Right.
You're
I
gonna
mean,
join blue collar when so we're starting to build a
I
small
love hockey.
little hot like
We'll
fake
get some
ice
momentum. We'll
hockey.
get
We're
some
getting there.
momentum.
And I'm guessing now, Mark, you take your guess, and whoever's closest, doesn't have to take a big gulp. But I'm guessing
I'm
six
out,
four.
anyways.
I say 6'4".
What?
Your height.
I say 6'2". What do you what's your height?
6'2.5".
God dang, man. I need to hang it up.
You know what's crazy though is I was the shortest kid in elementary school in my class. All the way in middle school, I was the shortest kid. High school, I was the shortest kid. I was the shortest kid on my basketball team too. I was 5'3".
Dang.
My
I
growth
grew
spurt
8
didn't hit
inches
till I was
my
a junior.
senior to freshman year of college.
Yeah, I was a junior in high school before my growth spurt hit.
Yeah.
Sheesh, that sucks.
Hey, I always felt
No,
behind.
no offers.
I always felt behind, man. I was 5'9", 5'10", and then as it went my junior year, I finally hit 6 foot, and then it kind of like plateaued after that. But I was like, I was behind my whole life. I was like, man, what are these guys? What are they eating? What are they
The
eating?
late bloomer's good, man, because when you're 30, when you're 20, late 20s, 30s, looking good. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. Hey, it paid off too because I was able to play Division One.
Oh yeah, really? That's awesome, man. That's real. But you know what's crazy is, you know, I already signed a contract with Cornhole Scenario. Cornholescenario.com is the bag company that sponsors me. And usually cornhole players, if they there's 256 pros in cornhole for the American Cornhole League. And there's a huge range of what people make as far as income. Top 15 players or top 10 players make over 100,000 easily, and then I'm probably just above mid. I was like 100 or something like that. Um, but I signed a 2-year contract, and I got a contract for next year that even if I don't even make pro, I'm still sponsored, which is like
Oh,
that's
nice.
like it's
Awesome.
like bonus cash. I can travel. I went to 13 states last year. I got to
Dang.
see Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. I mean, as a history major, that was so awesome. I'm like
Yeah.
a really patriotic guy.
Let's
Like,
go. Let's
I got my
go.
flag out
Right
on.
here.
I got.
I got you.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, I. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's pretty wild to be able to go see something like Mount Rushmore. It's like the time of day that I saw that. This is a good story. I went to an open tournament in Rapid City, South Dakota. I won my bracket. And there was 4 brackets, so there was a final 4. I lost my playing game to the ship. I was out, so I tied for third or fourth or whatever it is, and it was like probably almost 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I'm seeing Mount Rushmore.
Got
I'm
you.
like, I'm going there. And check this out. I'm from California. The warmest thing I got on is like sweats and a sweatshirt.
Mm.
And I Ubered to Mount Rushmore. There's snow everywhere. And I'm like, I think I might die tonight seeing this. So me and my buddy, we're walking up and it's surreal, man. This long brick pathway, and now it's lit up with LEDs 24/7.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
like walking up and it's like slowly and it's getting bigger and it's just me and my buddy late at night. We're at Mount Rushmore. Like that's wild, dude. And I was like I think that was actually the high of the weekend because it like meant a lot to me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And because why else would I go to South Dakota? I mean, ACL has afforded me the opportunity to go to a lot of places that I would have never gone across the U.S. I've been to the South so many times. I've been to Northeast. I've been to the Northwest up in Washington. I've been, of course, in California, Arizona, Texas. I mean, you see the way different people, they live different, talk different, but it's all America about the grind and making it something for yourself. Like I see that everywhere and I appreciate that. Like that's what it's about, it's crazy.
That's what
It's
makes us
wild.
the greatest country on the face of the earth. I love
Yeah,
it.
you know what?
Amen.
I love it.
So I got
I
Now,
wish
I
I
got
was there
two
to shoot
questions.
down that Chinese balloon. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm so glad you brought that
This is so much fun.
up. Go ahead with you
Oh,
two.
man.
Go ahead with
So
you
I
two.
got two. I got two. One is a pretty quick one, and one could be quick, but you can also dive in deep because I want to know because Mark and I have been looking at bags. So
Okay.
the first question is, when are you running for president? We just we want to know.
Oh man. You know what's funny is you're not the first person to say that.
Let's go.
Warrior 2024. It's
Let's
got a good
go.
read to it.
The problem is I live in California. Everybody thinks I'm a liberal, man. You
Hey,
have no idea. I'm the most.
fix AZ. Fix AZ for us.
Whew. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. You're gonna get me warmed up. You can't do that.
And then okay, so here's the other question.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you, and you got to know what I'm talking about. Slippy or grippy?
I like a slower bag, a grippy side.
Okay, okay, all right. That's the one
That's
I've
what
been.
got me. That's what got me my pro card. I
Oh,
was
nice.
at Worlds in South Carolina, and I shot. I like to make a messy board block, and I can shoot airmails for days. I've got a really high percentage of throwing the bag straight in the back of the hole or dragging bags. So if you want to run bags, I mean, and that just means sliding them over and
Right.
over. I can do that, but if you want to talk about blocking and making it messy and shooting that airmail backside, that's my game. That's how
That's
I
how I
made
play.
pro.
Yeah.
That's
And
exactly how
that's that's that money shot that everybody
Yeah,
loves.
I don't want to hit. I don't want to hit the bottom of the board. That's not cool. Layups are
Ah,
cool. I'm trying to. I'm
I'm
trying
trying to
for the
hit that
three.
three. Yeah. Yeah.
no, I like showmanship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is just for you. So where could we get bags, and do you get a percentage of if we get bags?
Well, the company that I represent, Cornell Scenario, is a lot of bag companies have pros and reps that sell bags for them. They make like 10 or 20. Our company is so sought after that they do drops on their website and they sell out in 30 seconds, and they'll sell like like a like a crazy amount. And you have to follow them on Facebook and they'll be like, "Hey, we're about to do a drop," and then you got to go to their website and hit refresh. It's like Ticketmaster stuff. It's
Wow.
crazy.
So do
And
you have a code that people can use and then you can
no,
no?
no, and we don't need to worry about that. If you guys want bags, you just message me and I'll figure it out for you guys. But
Hey, yeah,
if
that's
you're trying to buy them, it's pretty difficult as far as the demand. It's
Okay.
supply and demand. And she does uh Viv from Coral Scenario. She's out of Connecticut. It's crazy. Her designs are wild. The different fabrics she uses, the fill, the different plastic resin that is the fill of the bag is very unique, and I mean that's why it's so sought after. And I'm so pumped. I actually played with these bags before I even made pro, and I was a fan. Like it wasn't like pay me, I'm gonna sell your bag. It was like I was already playing these bags, and we found them out in California when everybody in California was throwing something different. And they're like, "What are you throwing? Cornhole scenario bags?" And now it's like a hottest thing. It's wild, and that company is really the reason why I'm able to travel so much. They've supported me. It's been a great partnership, and hey, you don't need to wait on a website. I'll figure it out for you guys.
Let's
we
If
appreciate it.
go.
I will definitely message you afterwards because
yeah, I'm dead serious. I'll give you something that nobody has, and you can figure
Let's
them out.
and,
fucking
and if we
go.
can and if we can get our pro card,
Well, getting your pro card is pretty hard,
yeah, it
but
was a
Yeah.
joke. It was a joke. It was a joke. Trust me, if
I'm
you
playing
saw
you first round if we get in.
if you saw us throw bags, you just be like, "Hey man, keep it in the backyard for
all
sure."
right.
Oh,
So
I'm
you
a
guys
hell
need
did I
to
give
head
you
out.
bags? Go to Walmart.
You guys need to go to Mesa, Arizona, and come to that big event at the Legacy Sports USA or Legacy something.
And is it June 2nd?
Yep,
Yeah, yeah, we already
got
know.
that down in our calendar.
It's
I am not kidding. You guys need to go there. If you guys go there, I'll get you bags.
Let's
Woo,
go.
and my birthday is on the 5th.
And mine's on the 10th of June.
That's basically a
That's a
birthday
birthday
present.
weekend right there.
Let's
If you
go.
guys figure it out, message me and let me know in advance. And you can. I'm still trying to get my pro partner to play with me there. I don't know who I'm playing with yet, but if he goes, yeah, I mean, you might as well just hang out with us.
Let's go.
That's a deal right there. That's a deal right there. Well, we've got time. We've got time for one more question, and this has been a blast. I really don't want this to end,
No.
but hey, my last question for you, honestly, I mean, you've covered everything. It's been great, but as far as match prep, tournament prep, what's your routine? What do you go through?
So the biggest thing is, usually those weekends are pretty. They're fast. It's like you're traveling from California to, Texas to Florida to Chicago. I mean, to Kansas City. I mean, Dallas. Like it's wild, and so it's really fast. It's like a Friday night, and then pull in. I meet my pro partner, or whoever. If I'm playing with another pro for that event, it's intense. So you want to relax and hang out, but you want to get a vibe of the city too. It's fun to go out and find a restaurant or a pub or something like that, or whatever's going on in the city. But when it comes down to the morning for me, I gotta get a big old cup of coffee,
Mm,
a light pastry or a breaded something,
mm.
and then usually it depends on the time of the day of the tournament. Sometimes it's real early, like 9 a.m., and sometimes it's later, like noon. And so if it's like a nooner, then I'm gonna probably have a couple beers before, kind of get loosed up. But um, I need to warm up about 45 minutes. My arm, my shoulder, I've seen a lot of sports in my age. The muscle memory's there, but it takes a little bit of warming up.
Get the
Yeah.
And
engine going.
so and getting relaxed. Like I'll find somebody. Before I became pro. So what I tell a lot of players that aren't pros that are wanting to become pros is I tell them this: you walk into the room and you look across the room and who's the best player in the room, and if you can find the best player in the room, when they're warming up and you just walk up and say, "Can I warm up with you?" It not only builds up your confidence, but you can learn some things. They might tell you some things. You might learn something just watching them. And I even do that to this day. I find someone really good that I think is better than me, and I warm up with them. So that way, if I match up with them, I'm already comfortable,
Yeah.
and
Got the
it's not an
environment down.
intimidation thing. It's like, I don't know. I got to warm up for a while, maybe have a drink, a little, loosen up a little bit, and build that confidence, and then find the best person in the room. Because I feel like if you can beat the best person in the room, then that's you, then, right?
Right,
Yep.
right. I like that.
So,
I like that.
that's my vibe going into a tournament. And you gotta walk around like you're the biggest one in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I you got to do that.
Well, I thought you were at 6'4", but
This guy. I'm gonna put some. I think I might put some inserts in my shoes. You know what I
there
mean?
you go.
Hey, get the bird's eye view of the,
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
boards.
Yeah. Oh, that is a fun strategy for someone who's smaller than you. When you're bending over the board and when you're looking over the scores tablet, I mean, I mean,
Look over at him like this.
hey, can you do bags? You pick up bags. I'll do scoreboard. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it.
You gotta
So,
do what you gotta use what you got, right?
Amen.
amen. So we got about 3 minutes. Now we can either renew this and it would take a minute, or we can end it here. But I got one question for you.
In 3 minutes. Good luck, man.
Well, I got a few more, but this one I kind of want to hit on.
Sure.
Is there cheating in cornhole? Like blatant cheating, like PEDs, maybe some in the bags, little magnets in the bag, something like that.
Nah, you know what? That's what's really cool about cornhole is,
So we got to put
if
magnets
you
in the
think
bag.
about what's that?
We got to put magnets in our
We do.
bags.
You haven't seen us throw. We're pretty bad.
Yeah, we're gonna glue
You know what?
some magnets to the
I
hole.
I honestly believe if you guys showed up to Mesa and I worked with you for like 30 minutes to an hour, you'd be like the best on your block, your family picnic, your tailgating, I swear. I'm
Ooh.
not
That's all
kidding.
I need. I just need bragging rights around the block. That's all I need.
Let's have a couple beers at Mesa, and I'll teach you a few things that will increase your game like crazy.
Well,
Like a few
it sounds
things.
like we don't have. It sounds like this is the only way.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the way.
I
Hey,
love it.
everything's been so great about you except for the 49er fan part.
Well, you know what? You know what? I mean, you gotta take the good with the bad, baby. That's
There
what it
you
is.
go. All right, baseball team. What you got? The
Come
Giants.
on, man. Come on, really though? The Giants, man. San Francisco. I'm like right here.
I'm a huge Padres fan,
Arson
man.
Giants.
Oh man, we got a lot of friends out here that are Padres fans, and we tolerate people like that. And
Since
Dodger
what,
Dodger
2020?
fans though, screw them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Dodgers fans, they ain't welcome in my house.
Nobody likes them.
Hey, as much pain as the Padres fans have, though, you can't hate us, man. You
No,
kind of gotta corral us in and just, hey, it'll be okay.
we feel bad for the Chargers. We feel bad. I mean, the Chargers, the Chargers owner, he lives in Stockton. He actually lives here.
Well,
Yeah,
that
So
makes
I mean,
that
sense.
makes sense.
That
Yep,
makes
it
sense.
does.
Spanos family, they
Yeah.
own the Chargers, San Diego Chargers, like, or LA Chargers
Kinda.
now,
Yeah, the
whatever
LA
you want to call
Chargers.
them.
Yeah. Trust me,
Whatever, same
for,
difference.
for the longest time when I was a kid, I bled blue and gold. I did, and then hey, I was raised you don't ever support anything LA. So there I
Oh,
was.
oh man.
So
Yep, Giants fan. I grew up watching Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell, and I watched the Bay series, the Giants versus the A's when the earthquake series happened. I remember that as an 11-year-old.
Huge.
It was crazy. Like that's wild. But
Yep.
yeah, Bay Area. That's it.
so one thing that I say, and it's catching on, and we won't show this, or you won't show this part to your classroom unless you want to. But I always say fuck Philly. Can we get a fuck Philly from you?
I'm not saying that, man.
Hey, more respect
Nope.
to you.
Nope.
More respect to you.
To the city that loves brothers.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we're gonna give you the floor. Let us know what you feel and how it is and how to get started on the pro circuit.
The pro circuit's wild. I mean, there's there's just been this huge influx of younger players, like young teenagers playing. And I mean, as far as California is concerned, I'm in the Western Conference in the America Cornhole League. So the Western Conference is California, Nevada, Arizona, and Hawaii. So, you know, there's a lot of ways you can qualify. You can qualify in open standings, which means playing in local events, regional events, conference events, and then open events, and your point tabulation allows you to be pro. Um, the way I became pro was going to Worlds and playing in the pro qualifier. And it's this gauntlet of, I think you had to be an advanced player already, but then you had to have, it was like close to 500 players vying for 30 spots. And it was something wild. I mean, this last year was even crazier than that because it's just growing. But I had to get a certain record in the tournament to make pro, and that's basically how I became pro is through that tournament. A lot of blocks. I like to block the board. On my first bag, I love to block right before the hole. So all those players that just like to slide in easily. I like to, and I like to hit my last three bags, just bury them and just airmailing them. And I won a lot of games just playing dirty like that. And that's my style of play.
Harden the
I love
paint.
hitting big. I love hitting clutch shots, big drags at the end, and just yelling and causing a ruckus. I love that. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
So
I
so when
mean,
did you realize, like, at whatever age you were, that, like, hey, I'm a little bit different at this and I can hit these shots that I'm actually trying for? Like, when
yeah.
did that click?
So cornhole in California. I mean, I've only been playing for about 4 years, and
Wow.
if you're from like the Midwest or even the South, like Georgia and out that way, and playing out that way, is people have been playing for a long time. People have been playing for like 12 years, and in California and Arizona and out this way, it's new. And people are like, "You're playing beanbags?" No, I'm playing cornhole, but it's got a different connotation now. Cornhole is, a game, that you call beanbags, but um, I started playing at a local bar. First three out of the four tournaments I played in, I won. I paid my bar tab, paid my meal, and
Mm,
had a wad of cash in my pocket. I'm like, I could do this. And then it turned into regionals up in Sacramento, just north of me, about an hour away. And first time I went to regionals, I got my butt kicked. I was 0-2, double elimination bracket, out three first
mm.
months I played. And then I started winning some games. And next thing you know, I'm winning tournaments. And, last season I won like 6 singles regional championships, which in Sacramento, that was like almost every month. And I was like crazy. And I realized, man, what am I doing? I should go check out what Rock Hill, South Carolina is about and go into Worlds for the American Cornhole League Championship. And here I am at, you know, 40 plus, trying to, pursue something that's totally different.
The
And,
Kurt Warner
before,
I
story.
love it.
yeah, it's wild, man. I mean, before cornhole, I actually did Spartan racing, and I used to do running and like some ultra
Nice.
running and stuff like that. And I was top 10 in my age group in that. And I got tired of running, to be honest. My knees and my
Me
ankles were
too.
bad. And I was like, no, I want to pursue the dad bod mentality.
Hey,
Hey,
And
up here, I joined what's called the NRA, the Never Run Again Club.
yeah.
yes, I would cheers to that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I'm done with that.
So I'll forgive you for this one, but we asked you about your beefs. You didn't ask us about our beefs. First
All
beef,
right, so
Barstool.
well, you're in Philly. I mean, you got a Red Wings jersey on, right? You're a Phillies fan.
No. Oh, hey, don't you start that. We're having a good conversation here.
I love it.
Just about everything Philadelphia I don't like. I like the cheesesteaks, never call them Philly though. When I order a Philly cheesesteak, I call it a cheesesteak. That's
All
how
right, so last year I flew into Philly,
Oh, God
Philadelphia.
bless you.
I feel it, and then I went. We had a tournament at Atlantic City, and I searched. I'm from California. I've got like a tight window in Philadelphia before I'm just landing and going into Atlantic City. I'm like, where am I gonna get a cheesesteak? I'm like, I'm getting one. I told my wife. I said, we're getting one. It was like midnight, and the place that I went to was fire. And I apparently this company opened their spot up. He worked for a place that was across the street from them, opened up the business across the street from them to start his own business. And I guess it's a pretty popular spot. I don't even remember the name, but I'll tell you what.
Good.
Let
Don't
me ask
shout
you
him out.
this. What kind of cheese do you put on your Philly cheesesteak?
Ooh, so that's a question
You
for
do the whiz or do you do like a real cheese?
I always thought it was real cheese that
Yeah.
you melted down.
yeah. I was gonna say I don't really cook. That's up to
Well, I
my
cook-
fiance
I
to
cook
answer that
like I
question.
cook and I do those kind of dishes. I really do. But
Easy.
I always felt like it was real cheese. You melted down, but you gotta have like
Yeah. You know
the
what's crazy
crunch.
is when I went there, they had like a cheese whiz that was like a whiz that they did on one of them, and that's what a lot of people do. And I'm like, uh, for me, I'm
See?
like, I want some real cheese.
Yeah, what's the big hubbub with it?
Yeah, see,
I don't
Philly's
know.
good for nothing except for losing when it counts. So,
Hey,
so
what's up with Philly fans flipping their own cars over in the street? What a
I'll
bunch of
tell you what it
And
is.
then throwing
idiots.
snowballs at Santa
And eating horse crap. I'll tell you what it is. They're not real humans. They're a computer. They're not real. Something's wrong with
It's a
Philadelphia.
It
simulation.
tells me that they don't understand things.
Amen. So we have a little bit of
If
a
there are any Philadelphia cornhole players out there, what is wrong with you?
yeah, we'll kick your ass, us three.
Well, we'll we'll lean on you to
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
the
yeah.
bags.
But we'll kick your ass.
I like this. This is a good teamwork right here.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll talk so much trash to them. They don't know what's going
Hey,
on.
I know what we should do. You guys should come to Mesa and you guys should be at our boards when I'm playing. And I'm telling you, if you sit around the boards, sometimes the hype around the boards is interesting because as games are being played, people start earlier in the tournament, there's no one watching, like as far as like around, and then the pool gets closer, more and more fans are watching. But I'm telling you, you guys come around my board and talk like that and hype up. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're
Oh, yeah,
winning
hey,
it. Oh, he's recruiting
Hey,
us.
say less, say less, say
It
less.
can intimidate
we'll
other
be-
players.
We'll be the Spike Lee, but except good for you. Except good
Yes.
for you.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, you oh my hype man. I love it.
Yeah.
I already love it. I'm curious. It intimidates people. People will be
So-
like, hey, who are those guys? I don't know. They're with Nate. I don't know.
So you know a few people from around the cornhole world. One
Yeah.
person that we have a little bit of beef with. I don't know if he knows it, but I
I
feel
don't know if it's intentional.
and I don't
Oh
even know.
gosh.
But we had an interview with Drew Brown, and he recently got drafted. He was Mr. Irrelevant drafted, right? So props to Drew. We give him all the props, but
Nothing but respect.
yeah, we had an interview with him, and he left us on red. What do you know, Drew? Do you know how we can like talk to him and be like, "Hey, what happened?"
He's from how'd you guys come across Drew out of
On
all people?
TikTok and
Yeah,
Instagram.
on
Yeah,
TikTok and Instagram. Yep.
Really?
yeah, we have. So
And he was like, yeah, no, I plan to be on the show before the season. We hit him up before the season and nothing. We were like,
and he was reading them all. And I took a little bit of
trying to
disrespect.
hurt the heart. Drew, what did blue collar do to you?
Give me 1 second.
Oh,
Let's do this. This is gonna be fun. I don't even know him. I have never met him. He requested me. This is gonna be fun. You guys ready to have some fun?
Let's have fun.
Absolutely. Let's have some fun. And tell him it's nothing but love.
Let me follow him back real quick before he sees this. Are we still following him?
Yeah, we still following.
I'm gonna FaceTime him.
Hey!
I've never met him.
That's why Nate's our boy right
That's
here.
right.
I think he's leaving. He doesn't want to talk to me either.
Oh no, the beef continues.
This is gonna be great. No, I don't know. I don't really know him. He's from Ohio.
He
He's
must
a
be dealing
newer.
with that
He's
train
a young.
accident that happened.
He's
I
a
think
young kid,
that's
right?
we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
We got to. It's nothing but love, Drew. But like, hey, we were like, hey man, like especially when he went to Indy for everything, we were like, hey man, how's everything going? And nothing.
Nothing.
You know what? I don't know if he's new, but he's probably like, I don't know. It's probably just new to him. I don't know. Is he a is he? I don't know.
He
I
was
don't
cool.
know. I
So
don't know who
I'm
he
gonna leak
is.
some messages. So he liked some of our stuff. Oops.
All right.
So he,
So
he messaged us and it was like, sounds like a plan to be on the show. We messaged him twice and he read it and nothing since. We're a little, I don't know if we got beef, but if you meet Drew, I think it's personal now.
Hey,
he's messaging me right now.
it'll be good.
Oh,
Tell him it'll be good to have a friend of me.
He's like, hey, I'm at a tourney in a game right now. I'll call you
I'll
later.
keep calling him, mess with him.
Hey, tell him blue collar said good luck.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna say, who?
Yeah.
He's probably confused why I'm messaging him. That's what he's probably doing. He said, hey, I'm at a tourney in a game. Call you
So
later.
that's what we have to do to get a message from him. Let's call him. Jeez, you've got a message faster than we did in a whole year.
Did he I think yeah, okay. I mean,
So with that,
is
how
what
do
it
you
is.
get drafted? What does that mean? I
All
didn't.
right, so the way the draft works is this is they do a teams event that's separate. So we have singles, championship, we have doubles, and you qualify as a pro either in singles or doubles. So depending on your ranking, they this is what people don't understand is every season they take half of the pro group, cut it in half, and everybody half and below is out of pro, and they requalify people. So
So it's a
my
lot like
partner and I
golf.
made it in the top section of pros, so we requalified. But if you don't requalify, you got to grind in in a few different types of events to make it back as a pro. And it's not just like you're pro and now you're a pro for a while. It's like year to
Gotta keep
year, and
at
it's a
it.
grind. And the PPRs, the points per round, obviously, like a 12, throwing 4 bags in the holes of 12. Our PPRs have just from a couple seasons ago to now, you have to throw pretty much 10s and 12s all the time to keep grinding. And, if he made pro out of this last time, I mean, he's got to be throwing good. And he's out of Ohio. So, um, Ohio, Michigan, it's a, that that area is actually full of huge talent. So if he made pro out of there, he's probably no joke too. So
Oh, so he got a bit too big.
Hey, we wish him nothing but
Yeah,
the best. We
yeah,
really do. We really do. It was
We
a
just
great
been missing
interview.
you.
Yeah. But hey, I want to touch back on this. I really love the idea of being a hype man. I really love the
Yeah.
idea of being in Nate's corner.
oh
So
man,
so what do we like? So what's the prices if a fan, right? If a fan wants to go see these events, right? So we're gonna go to Mesa June 2nd. What are we looking at typically?
walk in the door.
Wow. Wow, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and
Seating, we can sit wherever.
well,
Stand.
the problem is seating is usually kind of weird because we're talking about hundreds of anywhere from six. What are you get? What in the?
We're hyping you up. Keep going.
Hey, it's that hype
I
up.
feel left out. Drinking that syrup.
Hey, it was much cheaper.
Hey, we're not Barstool yet.
yeah. Maybe.
So yeah, there's boards like lined up like crazy. So there could be a 100 boards there, and so I think in that place there's like little bleachers type seating. But I'm telling you what, if you come out and the second I put any bag in the hole and you guys just go like ballistic, like like I just won something crazy, my opponent will look at you and be like, "What?" But I'm telling you, you come in hyped like that, I cornhole is really about mental game than physical game. Once you learn the muscle memory of throwing a bag like just repeatedly as far as sliding in, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of other shots you learn, but the mental game is where it's at because you're talking about doing the same thing over and over in like 40 rounds of cornhole,
Right.
and you just get it can be tiring, and the mental game is big. So having any type of mental advantage, whether it's a little bit of intimidation, looking down on someone,
Mm.
or having a group of like 6 people that are like clapping like every time you do anything, and or like let's go Nate, let's go, like fired up or hyping or dance like
Can we cuss?
it's
No,
yeah,
I'm
you
just
can. I
kidding.
mean,
Oh, we
fans can do
can?
whatever fans can do whatever the heck you want.
Woo!
I
So
hey, well, but we don't want to embarrass you.
no,
So
yeah, yeah,
here's
No,
yeah.
dude, I will not get embarrassed. If you show up and be you, I, if anything, I'll be fired up.
here's
Like,
what I bet you we can bring at least 8 people.
Oh yeah.
At
So
least,
yeah,
if not more, but at the very least 8 people. And I guarantee you, whoever walks in the door with us,
your corner's gonna be so hyped
hey,
up.
all right,
all we're
so
gonna do. So what we'll do? We'll message you before the event if you know
yeah,
you're bored, and then we're gonna try and sit there, and we're just gonna let your opponents have it
hey,
We're
every
gonna stand
match.
right behind him and be like,
it
"Hey,
Every time
sounds
you do
like
something great, every time.
my sponsor, and I need to get an Airbnb, and we're gonna be doing okay in Mesa. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Hey, and I've
I
got some contacts down there.
I am not.
Hey,
You think I'm kidding? I am
I
not
want to
kidding.
touch on
What?
like your connection to Arizona in a second. But I just want you to know this is our state.
we know it. We know
We've
it."
got some
Yeah, yeah.
connections.
And something that you don't know, and a lot of people don't know, is we're actually paid broadcasters.
Yes, we are.
We do a lot of basketball games. We've
Yes,
done,
we
and
do.
we absolutely nailed it. It was like you watch UFC, right?
What's that?
You watch UFC?
I Come on, man.
That's what
I
I'm
got
talking
the
about.
I
So
got Diaz brothers in my corner out here, man. Say less, man.
somebody
Say
actually
something.
compared us to Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier for our reactions at the basketball game. Now, keep in mind, this is a high school basketball game, and we're getting this hyped for that.
Yeah.
Imagine for our boy what we're gonna
Hey, I'm telling you, if you guys show up, it'll
play.
be
We
it'll
show.
be
When
it'll
we
be good time.
not if it's in the books. We've already marked it down. On
Oh
my
my
Palm
gosh.
Pilot.
Oh my gosh. People are gonna be like, who are those guys? I'm like,
Blue
they're with
collar,
me.
make your mama holler. That's who they are.
Hey, all we need when they say who are those guys, you'd be like, hey, those are my people. That's all we need.
That's all we need.
Why
So
are you asking?
That's right. That's right.
So one thing I see, and I've seen it and Drew had it on too when he wore his jersey, the bushes. So what kind of sponsor does that mean to you? Yeah.
Uh, so how it works is so ACL is sponsored by big sponsors like Bush's Baked Beans and some other, companies depending on, a lot of like I think Mike's Hard Lemonade was last season and other things. But so our pro jerseys, like this one, has the main sponsor that is for the ACL, but then I have my sponsor, other sponsors that we have, Cornell Scenario. I'm also sponsored by
Ooh, by
Mercedes Benz.
Mercedes.
Ooh.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's wild. What's cool about Mercedes is they like to sponsor people that are an individual. It's like golfers, tennis players,
That's dope. That's dope.
That
people
is.
that they're about the individual sport and not the team sport because they want personal excellence and integrity and things like that. So I'm like, you know, I get that. I felt that. It, they get that with me, and the same thing with Cornell Scenario. It's like people want to have these companies sponsor you because of what it means, and uh, I could have been sponsored by a lot of different companies, but I'd rather have a few companies that are about about
Exactly.
the way I think. You know what I mean? And I've got a good job, so you know I was already doing a lot of things on my own dime because I wanted to and whatnot. And uh, I wasn't going to take a sponsorship that wasn't something that was the way I think, you know. And
Right.
so
I like that.
Mercedes and Cornhole Scenario, they're in the same echelon of like excellence, and that's what I wanted.
So can we buy your jersey with your name on the back and wear that to the tourney?
Well, I mean, what you could do is I got a few extras, but I don't know your size, man. I mean, what are you?
XL.
Hey, I'm a big fella. I'm a big fella. Give me the 2X.
Oh man, I could get an XL, but not a
Let's
D.
go.
Not,
You got your number one. I gotta hit the gym twice as hard. I got you.
He just started today. Don't let him fool you.
hey, it's about reaching excellence, brother. You gotta get there, my man.
Let's go.
Motivation. That's all I need.
Get some.
Yeah, we're the same size as somebody that's 6'4", in my eyes.
6'4". I mean,
In my
That's-
eyes. What you got, Mark?
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. What
I
I'm
have.
what I'm gonna do is I'll work extra hard, and
Okay.
even if I have to wear that as like an overcoat,
A
right?
snuggie, a little
Split it in half,
snuggie.
split it over.
Hey, I know a seamstress. I got it. All right. But no, we'll
You can cut it. You can cut the sides and let it flare out. You know what I'm saying?
hey, just like Mama
That'd be
Kelsey
hot.
did with her t-shirts. That's what I'll do.
That'd be
No,
hot.
we'll definitely be there. But hey, I want to touch on your connection to Arizona. That was a great little side story you told us.
Yeah.
Tell us it in detail, man. That's amazing. That's cool stuff.
That is.
Yeah. You know, it's wild. You know, we've have a family friend growing up that was a athletic director for our local university, University of Pacific, the Tigers, and then he became the athletic director of U of A, University of Arizona, the Wildcats. And since I was about 12
Bear
or
down.
13, yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? And I followed men's basketball at U of A for a long time since I was about 12. And you know, my wife and I went to college down in Southern California, and I I decided to take her to a U of A game, our first time ever actually going to at Arizona game, because I always saw them at Stanford and at you know the Cal
Right.
Bears because that's in our area, but you know, it's always a away game, and I'm out in the middle of all that gold, wearing red. Like, what's up?
Risking your life for these guys.
risking everything.
But we went to a game, and I sent a ton of emails to Fox Sports Net and the local news, and also the University of Arizona athletic department. And eventually I got them to interview me at the very, very end of the game on the court. And my wife, we're sitting in the Cal section. We're at Arizona wearing red in the Cal section. And I said, babe, we need to go down to the court. She's like, why? And I'm like, we're going to meet some players is what I told her, which is
Wait.
stupid,
What's her
which
name?
is
What's her name?
my wife's name is Heather. And
Shout out to Heather.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we've been married 19 years. It's crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Almost as I've been in my fault.
Wild journey, man. And we go out there and we got brought down to the center court, Fox Sports Net, Arizona. Guy comes up, he goes, hey, this is your first time at a game. What do you guys think about it? And interviews us about being first time, you know, attendees of a game. And I said, it's been great. We've been long-term fans. And he's like, is there anything else you want to say? And I was like, yep. And I asked my wife to marry me. And, you know, she said yes.
Okay, all
you
right.
know,
I was gonna
That's
ask.
the win. That's the win.
yeah. But you know, we've been married 19 years, but it was cool. It was on Fox Sports Net. They sent me a digital, you know, copy of it. And
Shout
you
out
know,
to
we've
Fox,
been
man.
Wildcat
Doing
fans.
something nice.
And
So
what's
you
cool
are
is at the
old.
bar later that night, we show up and we're just, you know, young kids at 21, you know, and I'll tell you not we went to this bar and it was playing on the screen, the highlights, and we saw us on the TV and they're like, that's you. And we had so many drinks, it was ridiculous.
Nice. Who won the game?
Arizona did.
Let's
Come on, man.
go!
Get the heck out of here. Why you gotta even ask? Against Cal?
Love to
Sheesh.
hear it. Love to hear it.
19 years. That's a long time. You are old. You weren't lying.
Yeah, we've been together 27 years. I was 17 and she was 15. We started dating. Yeah.
Nice.
High school sweethearts. Yep.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
I think
That's
We have
awesome.
we've
See,
got one little guy.
I've been together with my wife. We've been together for 11 years, married for going on 8 this May. So I'm getting there.
spring chicken.
I'm getting there.
I'm a lot less, you know.
They say the hardest
Golden
time is
King.
around 5 to 7, 5 to 8, you know, so you hit that grind and you get there, man. Let's go.
Yeah, no, definitely, I'm the lucky one. She's the one that has to put up with me for sure. For sure.
Yeah, men, we're a pain in the ass, aren't we?
I'm a big baby though. I'm a big baby. Like she's got to put up with a lot of bullshit.
So I know
Yeah.
you're a little bit on the, you know, dinosaur side.
Ooh.
That's for the Philly jokes, all right? We're even now. We're even.
All right, all right. I'll let that slide.
But so one quick question I have for you, and it has nothing to do with cornhole, but it has to do with so who's your starting quarterback next year for the Niners? I just want to hear it from a Niners fan because I was actually talking to Mark about this, and
I don't know
Brock,
what I don't know what I would choose.
Brock Purdy still hasn't had his surgery, and it's going to be a
Right.
6 to 8 month. Trey Lance, you know, he's cool, but how cool is he? And Jimmy G, does he even want to be there anymore? Do they want him there? What do
I
you?
don't want him there.
Let's go! Finally. Okay, all right, all right.
We heard it. We
Now
heard
that
it.
now
I
that
think
be mean, but we finally are
think you
meeting a
can't.
smart 49ers fan.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta keep Trey. You gotta let Trey play and have Brody in the wings, and
I like it.
and let them play it out because either one of them could be huge. I mean, people don't realize that Brock Purdy was nobody, and you think about some of the games he played, and you look at his stats, his actual stats,
Arizona guy,
now
by the way.
with almost no experience. I mean, really though. I mean, yeah, he's warm. Yes, he's playing on the you know the warm up team or whatever against the the starting line, but you know I really like. I mean, Purdy looks great. I mean, it's just gotta wait some time. Are you gonna wait it out? I think you let Trey and Purdy battle it out as that goes. Drop Garoppolo. That's what I think.
So I really like Trey. That was one
I
thing.
like Trey.
But we disagreed with it because I was gonna take that as my rookie.
Right.
Really?
But see, and for me, it was like before I jump on any bandwagon or any hype, I just want I we were stolen. We were stolen. I wanted to see what he had. I wanted to see what he had.
I know. And right at the moment where he's got to perform, he gets injured. That sucks, right? I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, people wanted to see that to be a really good game. Philadelphia came off a game that was like they were
They beat
they
Daniel
were
Jones.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good job.
and
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that shootout. That's what I was hoping for, and nobody wanted to see an injury like that and have it go down
Right.
like that.
No.
I mean, let's be honest. They slid into the. I mean, they did slide into the Super Bowl
Yeah.
because of that. You know, let's be honest. But um, then the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't be wrong with that. That was a great game. You
Oh,
got
yeah.
It really was.
35-35 at the end of the
Yep.
game. Most Super Bowls are blowouts and everybody's bored to death in the second
Yeah.
half.
Yep.
Agreed. No, actually, we were talking about that on our last show. Was
Might have been the greatest Super Bowl we've watched besides the
Yeah.
Patriots coming back.
Yeah.
But nobody liked the Patriots coming back.
because everybody hated the
Oh.
Patriots. So
Yeah,
no,
too
it was
many.
great. It was
Yeah.
great. I love it.
And now, so I'm gonna wrap this up. We're again time constrained. We got 10 minutes, so you got a little bit of time, and we'll probably throw in
Alright.
some jabs on you. But what did you overcome in your like when you first started playing, you know, whether it was like, you know, you got an elbow injury, you know, maybe you had a little Trey Lance in you, got injured real quick.
Or maybe it was a mental
Yeah,
thing. Like
somebody
what was
talked to you and it kind of messed with you. What'd you overcome?
No, I think what's crazy is I tried to go pro 2 years before that, 2 years in a row, and as far as skill, I felt like I had it at that point, but I needed more experience at that time, and I realized at that point that cornhole is it's not about you know the actual physical game of it's all mental. I mean, the way games are, it's unique. It's not like going into a basketball game or a football game or a soccer game and going into it and then playing extensively for 40 minutes or 2 hours or an hour or whatever it is. But for cornhole, you play really hard for like 40 rounds, anywhere from 10, 20, sometimes closer to, 30 rounds frames. And then you sit. You can sit for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour if you're waiting for a king seat game, an hour and a half. And how do you stay focused and keep playing cornhole? That's what's hard because the tournaments can be anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. And so you're talking about by the end of the tournament, you got to stay focused and keep putting bags in the hole. And that's what's challenging. And I think it took me some time to get there to fit, to feel that. So
I gotcha.
it's different. It's different than a lot of sports.
Right.
So
I love that.
So how did the now we were set up for an interview and then we were up and ready and you left us hanging, like prom dates. Wait, we were so ready, we were so excited.
Oh
How
my
did,
gosh, I apologize for that. That was my error in
okay, we thought we had beef, but we squashed
no,
it.
no, no, that's all that's what you call ADHD. So I have a lot of problems with focus and things like that. And I put you guys in for you said Sunday and I put it in for the next week. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, no, we're good. You're like, no, oh my God. I saw on Instagram. I'm like, oh man, I really butchered that up.
You know what really
That's
hyped us
on
up
me.
was the way you talked. Like
Yeah.
the way you were communicating was like, oh,
It
this
was
guy,
straight real.
yeah,
I
it
mean, you
was
were
like,
straight invested.
right. And it was like, this guy's
Yeah.
legit. And so, we're gonna be legit. How'd your last tourney go? We're gonna leave it off.
We
You
got we got
you
we gotta
you
know.
left us hanging.
We gotta know. We gotta know.
My last tournament.
Yeah.
Well, so it depends on what you mean because I play in locals like just around my area. I play regionally in like California and I play in bigger tournaments. So if you're talking about the very last one I played in
On Saturday, yeah.
on Saturday,
Wasn't
Yeah, it
that the
was
day?
Saturday.
Wasn't that the day?
Saturday I got second place.
Ah,
Dang.
Second is the first loser in my opinion.
Yeah.
yeah, that's rough
And
for
it was an
me.
outdoor tournament and usually pros always play in like indoor venues and things like that. But it was actually a fundraiser, and they had a really big payout. They had $1,500 for first place, and
Jeez.
whatever. And we still came out with a lot of cash in our pocket, but I was pretty disappointed in how I played and how my partner played. We both played like not close to how we should have. So that's how it goes. I'd rather play in a local tournament pretty crappy and figure it out because when you're on the pro circuit, you don't want to have those days.
Right.
There's no excuse on those. I'd rather locally screw up than mess up in a
Now,
big
I,
one.
I got I got a question, and you're more than
All right.
welcome. You're more than welcome to answer it off camera.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go.
Because I really don't. I don't want to put you on the spot. This one's actually coming from the heart.
Okay.
I actually own my own nonprofit charity. Okay.
Okay.
And my next goal actually was for realies. Me and him would be on a team playing in a cornhole tournament. What would it take for like to get someone like you to show up and just play?
It's only northern Arizona. Now you do have 3 minutes to answer,
Mm,
but
What you so what you do is this. All right. So if you're gonna host it, you're gonna have someone host a tournament and run a tournament. What you do is you could do a raffle, and what you could do is have a lot of people raffle. Whoever the winner is can play with me, and I'll play with them in the tournament. And that could be something, or you know, you could do something else to have someone, and however you figure it out to have me partner with. And I've showed up to a lot of things. You know, I've done tutorials. I've been on a lot of different YouTube tutorials on how to throw bags and stuff like that. And for me, it's about growing the game and pushing the fun and what cornhole is. And
Well,
yeah, I
I
mean,
was thinking maybe the championship, the championship winner gets to play against you and your partner type of thing.
against me and my partner.
Yeah. Now,
Well,
obviously, now I'm not expecting you guys to lose
I
by any
bet you could do the winner of me and my wife. My wife is
Let's
the last year's
go.
she's a
Let's
California
go.
Women's State Championship last year. So I could bring her and she could easily have been a pro female player, but she didn't pursue it just because
I
we've got
love
a little
that.
one at home. But she and I, we'll
So
play anybody.
so let's me and you
She's
talk.
good. She's
Let's me
good.
let's me and you talk off camera, and then maybe we can set something up.
You know what? And if it's in Arizona, if we could figure out a time that works out on a time that I might be there, or you know, whatever. I got family in Phoenix too. So, I mean,
Cool.
Ooh,
and
No,
we
yeah,
actually
no,
stay out, we stay out there sometimes out in Scottsdale too. So
that's not far.
that's not far from us.
So this about
we can
wraps it
figure out
up.
something.
You got
Let's
any
do it.
last shout outs? Anybody you want to mention before we end it?
You know what? I'm just thankful that, you know, my number one sponsor is my wife. She lets me you know, we got a little guy. He's 8 years
To
old. He's
Heather.
yeah,
Heather.
she could easily be playing this too, but she's being mama to our 8-year-old who's in second grade, competitive soccer, a killer. Um,
Nice.
Good on him.
and you know, my wife was a women's state championship late last year for California. She can play cornhole. She's good at cornhole.
That's
Nice.
But you know what?
badass.
Besides that, my sponsors, Cornhole Scenario, um, cornholescenario.com, and also Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I mean, they get it. It's about pursuing excellence and being the best at whatever you do. And they show me a lot of love, so it's been fun.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for your
Everything.
time, and thanks for your insight, man. It's been a blast.
Yeah,
See you
yeah.
June 2nd.
Absolutely
Hey,
be there.
if you guys show up, it's gonna be crazy. I
Oh
don't think you
Let's
yeah.
go.
realize.
Hey, to blue collar
And to Nate, let's
All right.
go.
Hey, it's been a lot of fun, fellas. I'm gonna pretend there's something in here.
Thanks for your time,
Thank
buddy.
you.
You have a good night.
Take care, fellas.
All
I'll see
right.
you on the flip side.
Absolutely.